Okay, Adler Realty and Investment Company Limited. First thing we're going to look at is the design of the website. Looking at the website, the first thing that really jumps out at me is the overwhelming use of color. I think that there's too much of the same color on the site. It's kind of a distraction. Normally what you want is the background to be a little duller than the foreground. The second thing I noticed is the navigation bar, which is a bright yellow. And when you use a highlight color such as yellow, you use it to focus the attention of your visitor. So I guess the question we need to ask is, do you want your visitors to focus here on your navigation bar, or do you want them to focus somewhere else on the website, like your about section, or I guess your photo, or even your name and telephone number? Thirdly is the background of your navigations over here, which is the same bluish purple color, and the faded design, the curved design. It seems very old school. Like the site seems to be a older design, 2008, 2010 design, particularly with the areas over here, the way the property listing is situated. It seems like a basic bullet list, like I said, old school. And over here where you have view exclusive rental showcase, I'm expecting this to be a link, to tell you the truth. I think it looks like a banner, and I'm expecting that if I click on it, it takes me to another page, but it doesn't. Uh, Down here we have some buttons, and I notice that the buttons do not take me where I would expect. So Facebook button opens up the home page, and the YouTube button opens up the home page. The Twitter button actually works, but it takes us to a Twitter page that is not functioning. 51 tweets in total, 6 followers, and the last tweet is February 11th. So let's close that. For technology, the site is not mobile responsive. With so many people now using mobile phones, smartphones, and tablets, your website has to be prepared for those visitors, particularly if you're targeting people from the United States who are very, very mobile. If they come to your site, it's not mobile, it's hard for them to view your information, to read stuff. And this text right on this screen is pretty small. On a mobile screen, it's going to be even tinier. It's going to be unreadable. So you want them to be able to browse your site and have a good user experience. If not, they're just going to leave and go and find your competitor. So that brings us into your content and I guess your strategy. Like I was saying earlier about the navigation bar being bright yellow, like, is it your strategy to have people focus on the navigation bar? My strategy here on your home page really is, you want your visitor to take one action. You want to focus on getting them to take one action. What would that action be? Well, I guess maybe you want them to call you, but people visiting your website are looking for information. If they wanted to call you, they would have. They're on your website because they want to learn something, probably before they get in contact with you. So what I would focus on is establishing your identity and your value proposition. So in this area here where we're making the difference, we're making a difference, that is not really saying anything to me as a visitor, somebody who's interested in buying real estate. If I'm interested in buying real estate in the Bahamas and you're saying we're making a difference, well, the difference how? So I'd rather you say something like 20 years experience working for you, or something like that. Over 20 years experience in Bahamas real estate working for you. Something that identifies a benefit, that distinguishes a benefit for the visitor and distinguishes you from your competitors in some way. Like I say, your homepage should have one focus, and that is to get your visitor to take action. A great thing to be would be for them to sign up for more information. So I see you have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide. An easy way to do that is to put them into a PDF put them into a PDF report and have people sign up to download it for a free download. You do not have a blog. In today's world with social media and sharing, you want to have a blog that you can share out to different social media locations, and that would draw in your potential visitor. And the more information you have out there, the more opportunity you have for them to find your website. So right now we're going to look at some of your sub pages. You have your buyer's guide, your seller's guide, real estate fact, fees and taxes, team, contact. Great stuff. So buyer's guide, financing a lot. This is a lot of good information. But I don't like the format of how it's placed on the website, right? This to me, if you had a blog, or even you should make this its own page, you could put this information out there in a guide, in an individual blog post. First of all, buyer's guide, financing a lot purchase, that's one article. Financing a home purchase, that's another article. And you can share this information on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Twitter. You can email it to your email subscriber list. And you know what? This is information that is very valuable. I mean, if you've never bought a house or purchased a lot, you want to know this information. So if I'm in that market, I certainly want to know this. So you can use this to attract buyers to your company, but it has to be presented better in my opinion. And a blog would be a good platform for that. Seller's guide is pretty much the same thing. This is good information, pricing strategy. A lot of really good points here. You have your marketing strategy, so good stuff. You have good content. It's just not content in the right place. And the reason why it's important the way you present your content is because, believe it or not, people don't read a lot on the internet. They scan a lot. But this information, for instance, you just have seller's guide. In terms of search engine optimization, if I look for seller's guide, I'm not going to find Adler Realty Investment Company. But if I have Bahamas Home Seller's Guide or Vacation Home Seller's Guide in the Bahamas, you have to, or Real Estate Seller's Guide in the Bahamas, you have to kind of use the keywords that people will be using to find your website. So if I'm looking for how do I go about selling my home in the Bahamas, I may put into Google search engine selling a home in the Bahamas. So your keywords have to be in there, and a blog would be better for that rather than this page here. And also, just to show a little bit about the technology, you see here the question mark P equals 13. That really means nothing, and it also indicates that this is an old site, because what should be there really is /seller's guide. That means your site doesn't have the technology to put that information in there. And believe it or not, that's really important. So let's go to real estate facts. Good stuff. Excellent. A ton of information that presented properly you can use to look at this. Great stuff, because if you're a first-time buyer or seller, you may not know all of these terms. This in itself could be a page or an article on your website that's better formulated for you to attract visitors. Fees and taxes. Wow. I must say, I must applaud your site. You have a ton of really good information. I think it could be presented better to the public, and it could work a little harder to attract visitors to your site and to your business. And like I said again, over here on the right hand side, you have this banner that is really not serving any purpose for your company. So finally, we're going to look at team. And I think that normally people have an about us page, but I think you have your about page on the home page, so you couldn't really put about there. But if your home page had the proper structure and function, then this would be your about page. And where you have your team, you just don't want to put a name, Beth Carey real estate, and numbers. You want to say something about your real estate agents, um, about their experience, their main areas of focus, some little tidbit about their personality, something that's more humanizing. Because if you're in the real estate business and you're in the selling business, you know that selling is about relationships and people feeling comfortable with you. And you want to take this opportunity here to start to introduce your team members to your visitor who could be your potential buyer, right? So I think the about page here about, okay, we have some stuff about Daron P. Isaacs. So I think this, you should have this kind of information on everybody, right? And just have it laid out better. Um, your contact us form, yes, it's not too bad. Again, every time you have a banner like this on, this banner doesn't even match up with the other stuff, but you're expecting this to be a clickable banner. We have your numbers, NASA office, APCO office, online phone. I am a guest. This serves no purpose. My name is, my email, my phone contact, refer me. I don't understand why that's there. In terms of online forms, here's the thing. People don't like this to fill out online forms. So what you want to do, and this is based on research. Research has shown that the more fields that a person have to fill out to submit a form, the less likely they are to submit that form. So what you want to do is simplify this form as much as possible. What you probably want is a name, a first name, an email, and a phone contact. That's probably it. All of this other stuff and maybe the comment section. And then you give that information to your salesperson, and you can call that person and you can then get all of the relevant information. But the first thing you want is to get that person contact, because now you have a lead. But the longer the form is, the less likely that this form is going to be filled out. And the form is kind of confusing. I mean, guess is the only thing that you could select, so why even have it there? So anyway, and the form could be better designed. So that's pretty much it. I think the website, I guess, is not horrible, but if you need a modern, updated website to really leverage the internet and take advantage of, and convert the visitors to potential customers or leads for your business.